Will PSA get it done? Will PSA reopen by July of 2021? Will bulk value submissions, economy all come back? Will PSA solve its backlog? That and much more coming up here on YugiohTube.
In a world full of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, grading, selling, buying, one card game remains supreme. One man has the insights you need to know. Watch and subscribe now. YugiohTube.
What's up, YouTube? YugiohTube here, discussing the implications of PSA shutting down, discussing the future predictions and projections. Again, this is just a me channel user talking to the air. Don't, and I repeat, don't take this into consideration. Do not use this as investing advice or anything like that. This is just pure opinion, and I'm not responsible for anything you do or do not do, as always. Now, PSA shut it all down, as we know, a few months ago in July, until July, I should say, of 2021. My money, personally, my thinking thinks that it's just not going to happen. I can't see PSA reopening up in July 1st, 2021. You know, you're talking 5, 10, 15, whatever it was, million cards in the backlog. That, yes, recent news says, Nat Turner says they're all logged in the system. But, yeah, that's the easy part of this whole thing. Orders being logged into the system are easy stuff. Grading the cards, quality control, second looks, third looks, different kinds of services, economy, regular, bulk, express, super express, walkthrough. It just keeps on coming. It's a very difficult thing when you've dug that big of a hole to say, okay, we're going to shut it down, but we're going to be back in 2-3 months. And I think too many people, in my opinion, are optimistic that PSA will reopen on July 1st. I'm not holding my breath. I don't think it's going to happen. Again, could it happen? Sure, of course. But I just don't see it happening. And I think that a lot of folks might be very disappointed. And I have so many messages that say, oh, Tim, when they reopen in July of 2021, well, you do this, can you submit this? And I am not, you know, at all even thinking August. I would not be shocked if it's not until October, even into January of 2022. And that's a bold statement. I know it's a bold statement, but they have a lot of work to do. I mean, the value TCG cards, the Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, the value bulk submissions, we're talking still from August of last year. August. I mean, still not done. And then you put in all those other crap sports cards from modern day, the ultra-modern $1 cards where people submit 400 or 500 of them, the Charizards of Pop 800,000 and Pikachu Commons of Pop 800,000 where people keep submitting. I don't see it happening. And as we know, Beckett BGS shutting down July 7th. And as we know, that's going to be out of the picture. SGC, I would not be shocked. That gets out of the picture. CGC... yeah, they're grading Pokemon, probably Yu-Gi-Oh, but is anyone going to use CGC? I mean, I guess where there's money to be made, people will do it, but at the end of the day, people are a lot better just waiting for PSA, I imagine. Now, here's the other concern. What happens if PSA says, even if they say we're going to wait till August, September, October, November, we're going to open November 1st, it's been delayed. People are going to explode the freaking system when they reopen. I mean, the amount of mail that PSA is about to get, if prices remain the same, will be huge. Now, that's key. That's key, because PSA upped the prices, thinking we're going to up the prices, that's going to slow it all down. No, they doubled the price, it didn't make a hill of beans. Now, what they're probably thinking about, and again, I'm just here sitting down with SpongeGar, not thinking, not in their office, but what I am thinking is, if I were them, I would be discussing how can we slow this influx that will come again. This hurricane and the tsunami has stopped, but when the next one comes, what are we going to do? And that is inevitable, it seems. There's a few things that they could do. Option 1 is they take X amount of cards or X amount of submissions a day. The problem with that is, how in the world are people or their internet and their IT department and their website going to handle that? How are they going to kind of have reserve your spot to just submit cards to PSA? Another company called, I think it's HGA, did something like that, where it worked out supposedly really well, but a lot of people were on a wait list where they can't even get to grade the cards. It's just crazy to me today that you need to get on a wait list to grade your cards. When back 3-4 years ago, you're talking like 45 business days, which is like a month, or 2 months, I'm sorry, is an eternity, for bulk. Now it's a year. That's option 1. If they're looking and having a donut and coffee in the morning and they go to their break room and they're sitting there, they're saying, how could we slow the massive influx that's going to come when we announce that we're going to take this bulk cards again? Option 1 would be a waitlist kind of system. Option 1 would be where folks just somehow get on this wait list. It could be even lottery kind of system where you put your email, you get an email, and you say, okay, you can submit your cards from this week to this week. That could be something, but then who's to stop someone or a bot from making 10,000 emails and then boom, they have a million emails come in for grading cards. That's one option. Option number 2 would be raising prices, and that seems like the easiest, most logical choice. It's not good for graders or consumers. It's good for PSA, but it will slow down the quantity being submitted if they indeed do it. If they hypothetically went from 20 to 25 a Yu-Gi-Oh card to 30 to 35, even 40, and I hate to say it, it burns. I'm like sizzling right now. There's steam coming up all in this room here with SpongeBob. That is one way to really slow down submissions. When you boost those prices to the point where people can't make any money from it, that's one way to slow it all down. The easiest, simplest method, again, the more complex method would be the waitlist kind of system. There could be a lot of headaches when it comes to that. I just don't see, if they reopen, for example, on July 1st, they are going to just get whammed, just whacked with a million submissions, and that's not an exaggeration. It could be a million submissions. Who really knows? No, I'm not, not a million submissions. It could be a million cards. For all we know, everyone and their grandmas waiting on stacks upon stacks upon stacks of cards, waiting to submit to PSA. And so PSA said, oh, thank goodness, we shut down for 2-3 months. We finally cleared this backlog. It's inevitable that it's going to happen again if things don't change. Now, granted, the sports card market, much, much softer and colder than it was 6, 8, 10, 12 months ago. Sports cards have really, really softened. Yu-Gi-Oh cards, nada. Pokemon cards have softened. So it is interesting. It is interesting to see how Yu-Gi-Oh has kind of stayed very strong. And I think a lot of that goes to its rarity. Some of these cards where in Pokemon you get, 10 hollows, 12 hollows a box. In Yu-Gi-Oh, you really only get 2, 3 with a secret, maybe heavy hitters, so there's a lot fewer out there. But nonetheless, we digress. Yeah, I think it's another incoming storm. I think PSA, I would not be shocked if either or and, you heard that right, they delay their reopening, they raise prices, they have a lottery system, they get flooded again. I mean, it's just, I find it impossible to think that they will not get flooded again. And I don't know how they will get out of it if they don't raise prices or do a lottery system. I don't know. Unless they have hired so many more people. But to train all those people and to get all those facilities up, I mean, that you can't do in 2 months. You can't. You could work night and day, 24 hours a day, but you can't get that done. So, I guess time will tell. What do you guys think? Do you think PSA is actually going to open up July 2021? I know their announcement when it came was something like, we hope to be up by July, or we think we will, or we project to. I don't know the exact terminology, but it wasn't, we will be back up on July 2021. So, who really knows? What do you guys think? When do you think PSA is going to reopen? That's an interesting question. You think Beckett is going to follow long behind because they've already had that delayed backlog now? That you're talking another 6 months for them to shut it down, or what? What are we thinking? Until next time, YugiohTube. You have any more suggestions that PSA could do to kind of stop the next incoming wave, the second wave of grading? What do you think? Till next time, YugiohTube signing out.